Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome to today's episode of the Soul Currency Live. Thank you for bearing with me as I had to clear my backdrop ever so slightly. If you could see what's back there, oh my gosh. So I am in the middle of a move, and if you were to see me try to walk backwards, it's like an obstacle course trying to get to the door. So I hope you can't see the mess. So just don't look back, don't look down, just look here right at me. So how are you? How is everybody? Where are you tuning in from? I would love to just hear from you. Say hello if you're here. Say hi, I'm here, and let me know where you're tuning in from. And today I'm going to be talking about something that I am super passionate about. Of course, everything I share with you, I'm very passionate about. And just coming out of being at the Soul on Fire workshop this weekend and guiding that amazing group of men and women through the inner work process that we did together, I'm just like coming down from that high and just feeling so inspired and so motivated at just, again, being in awe of the power of inner work. And so I wanted to talk today a little bit about some of the things that get in the way of us saying yes to doing something like inner work, like going to a workshop, like working with a coach like myself. And so it's something that I see all the time. And I'm really curious to hear from you if you have faced this within yourself. So give me some likes and hearts. Let me know that you are here. Let me see who is here. I think I see Cheryl. Hi, sweetheart. I don't see who else is here. So if you're here and I can't see you, please say hello. If you're here on Instagram, please say hello, wave. I'm going to wave back to you guys over here on Instagram. Thank you for joining. Hello, Chad. All right, everybody. So what is the deal about inner work anyways? You know, what are we doing in the process of inner work? And for me, having been on this path of personal growth and spiritual development for over 22 years, I'm just like, I'm so all in. I am so dedicated. And I know the valleys and the peaks. I understand the resistance. I understand the fear. I understand it because I've just been in this conversation for so damn long. And I am never, ever done with my own process, but I'm also just always continually humbled, deeply, deeply humbled and in awe of the power of showing up for work like this. So, all right, everybody. Hey, Sherry, sweetheart, you're live. Yay. So she's going to know a little bit about what I'm talking about because she was at the workshop on Saturday. So what's the deal, you guys? Three reasons why most people are scared to death of doing inner work. And a lot of people that I meet end up being sort of like afraid of getting too close, and like they tiptoe around me for years because of these three things. Okay. And this is something that is just so, so important. This message is important. The whole world needs to hear this. So if you're feeling me, if you're feeling any part of this message, if it resonates with you and you feel like it would help those you know and love as well, please share this video now, tag them in the post to make sure that they are here with us and watching and present. And just want to make sure this is public for everybody. It is. Okay, so you can share. So go ahead and share this video now. We're going to be talking about why we have resistance to doing inner work. Okay, so share, and let's make sure that this work and these messages just keeps getting bigger and bigger. More and more people need to know about this. Why? Because wouldn't it be great if everyone on the planet was living in alignment with their truth? Living in alignment with their truth, with their heart and soul, from a place of love and not fear. Just imagine for a moment the whole world awakening, the whole world healing, the whole world facing the fear that is holding them back in their lives. So what are the three reasons? What are the three reasons people avoid inner work and are very resistant to showing up for it, investing in it, participating in it, being in the conversation? So the first main reason that I see is that some part of you knows that you're not living your truth. Some part of you knows that you are living out of alignment with what you know to be in your highest and best good. Can anyone relate to that? Can anyone relate to being in situations, whether that be, a job that you took, that you said yes to, and yet some part of you felt, this isn't the right thing for me to be doing. I shouldn't be saying yes to this job, right? So who can relate to that? Who can relate to having said yes to something when some part of them deep down, there was a little voice inside that said, oh, no, 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 no. How about saying yes to a relationship, or even saying yes to marriage, being married to the wrong person? And years down the road, when all of it's unraveling, you look back and you say, God, you know what? I knew better. I even knew better before I got married, that he or she wasn't my right partner, but I did it anyways. Who can relate to this? You guys, come on, share with me. Who can relate to this? Give me some hearts and likes if you resonate with what I'm saying. If you have at any point in your life made a decision that was not in alignment with your truth, that inner knowing, that little voice inside of you that was saying, red flag, red flag, red flag, danger, don't go down that road. Don't go down that road. Who can relate to that? Things are falling all over the place, don't mind me. But at least it's sage spray, I gotta stay clear over here. Okay, so give me an example of something that has happened in your life that you said yes to, and then you eventually looked back and you said, you know what, there was this, there was this, there was this, there was this. There were all of these reasons. There were all of these things that were actually indicating to me something's not quite right. Something's not quite right about saying yes to this lifestyle, to this marriage. And I'm not answering the phone to some random number who's probably wanting to call and sell me something. Sorry, guys. Okay, so share with me, those of you who are watching, what are some of the examples of things that you've done where you have been able to look back and that just kicked me off of live on Instagram. Okay, so what are some of those things, you guys? I'm just going to check this out over here real quick because Instagram is now looking at a blank screen because of that person who called. So I'm just going to do something real quick. You guys write to me and let me know what those things are, okay? I want to hear from you. So I want to hear what it is. What is it that you said yes to, that you knew in your heart of hearts it was actually not the right thing for you to be doing? So I'm almost up. I want to see those comments coming in. So who's brave enough to let me know? Who is brave enough to let me know what it was that they said yes to, that it wasn't actually in alignment with their truth? There's a part of us, just hear me on this. There is a part in all of us that is deeply aligned with truth. And I believe truth is love. And so anything that is out of alignment with love, anything that is out of alignment with our highest and best good in our personal growth and healing and evolution on this planet, it doesn't feel quite right. We know there are warning signs early on that it isn't quite right. But why don't we choose to listen to those signs? I mean, we get really good at discounting it, at not paying attention to it, at distracting ourselves from ever even hearing it, until years down the road, we look back and we say, you know what, I knew better. Who can relate to this? How many people do you know that can relate to this, that have been in the wrong marriages for years, for decades, to the wrong person? And it was out of alignment with what their heart and soul knew was in their highest and best good. But why? Why is this happening? Why are we making decisions? Why are we saying yes to things when there's that little voice inside that says, this isn't where you're supposed to be going. This isn't what you're supposed to be doing. This isn't in alignment with your truth. This isn't in alignment with love. Why? Why do we not just listen to that voice? Well, here's the number one reason why we don't listen to that voice, because we human beings are just terrified of the unknown. We're terrified of change. We're terrified of taking risks. So if we are deathly afraid of the unknown isn't safe, right? So we stay in situations, we stay in jobs, we stay in relationships, we stay in environments that aren't good for us, even abusive, even traumatic environments. People end up staying in those environments way past their expiry date, way past the time that they should be there. Why? Why? Because on some weird level, we human beings find more comfort in the known than facing the fear of the unknown. We human beings find more comfort in the known than facing the fear of the unknown. Can I get an amen? Can you give me some hearts and likes? Can you relate to that? That you stay in situations far past their expiry date because it's just the known. And there's a part of you that finds comfort in that. And we just get comfortable because it feels familiar. The familiar is comfortable. The known is comfortable, not the unknown. The unknown, oh no, oh no, oh no. So we don't want to have to face that because that is too damn scary. But guess what, you guys? And this is something that I talk about all the time. Fear only has power over you if you don't face it. Fear only has power over you if you don't face it. Once you face that fear and you walk through the fire, you can finally take a deep breath. There is so much freedom on the other side of facing your fears, because as soon as you face that giant fear, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, because you get to go into a place of self-inquiry and you get to really put yourself and those fears in check, reality check. It's not as scary as you think. It's only scary because you're not willing to look at it. You're trying so hard to avoid looking at it. We spend our entire lives being distracted from ourselves. That means distracted from our truth. We are so good at numbing out. We are so good at avoiding. We are so good at deflecting. We're masters. We have mastered that game. We are masters of resistance, resisting what truly is, not allowing the feelings to arise. We are constantly trying to avoid feeling the feelings that are truly there. And so that's another reason why we don't show up for a practice like inner work. We don't want to invest. We don't want to commit. We find all the reasons in the world why it's not the right time, or I don't have the money, or I don't want to make the investment, or it's just not worth it, or let me invest here, or let me invest here, or let me invest here. And then eventually at some point, maybe I'll do the inner work, right? So it's like there's also another part. Another thing that I see, so this is like number 2. So number 1 is just basically some part of you knows you're not living in alignment with your truth and you're scared shitless because you actually know that, right? And you don't want to have to face the truth, because what does that mean? If you actually face your truth, guess what? You can no longer deny it. You can no longer deny it. You can no longer pretend that you're living out of alignment with your truth. Yeah, sometimes ignorance is bliss, but staying in a situation in your life that is out of alignment with your truth is, in my eyes, far worse. Far worse, because you are living in pain and discomfort, because you are living out of alignment with your truth. And that is the worst thing that you can be doing. It creates dis-ease of body, mind, and spirit. You're not showing up being in your fullest expression of who you truly are. There's no way that you can live an authentically happy and joyful and connected and passionate and sensual life if you are living out of alignment with your truth. It's just not possible, because some part of you knows you're living a lie. Do you guys hear me on this? Do you hear me? And so, yeah, it's scary. It's scary to face your truth, because you might have to make some really tough decisions. And anytime someone comes to me with the pain of a relationship and not knowing, should I stay or should I go? The first thing I say to them is, okay, so first of all, you're not making any decisions. I need you to commit to a path of healing your relationship with yourself before you ever even consider whether that relationship is right for you. because the process of inner work also helps you to take your power back, meaning you're no longer blaming your partner for all of your misery. You're empowered in your life and in your relationship, and you learn how to communicate authentically and from your heart and from love, no longer being bogged down by all the fears and the limitations of your past. So that relationship that you thought might be miserable might be incredible. But you've got to show up for the inner work to heal your relationship with you before you can make the decision of whether or not that relationship is right for you. Do you guys hear me? Okay, so when you first of all, this first big, I mean, think about how big that is, right? Facing your truth and being willing to face your truth and then make some really hard decisions, but taking the time to do the inner work first and then make the decision to see, is this really right for me? Is this job right for me? Is it something that I need to shift my perspective around so that I can enjoy it and actually love life again? That's a big possibility, but you've got to first uncover what's really going on in order to handle it and deal with it, okay? So the second thing I see is that, I mean, people know, like, that if you start a path of inner work or therapy of any kind, you've got to go backwards in order to move forward. And those of us who have had painful, traumatic pasts, it's oftentimes really scary to think about having to face your past again, having to look at it, having to uncover those painful memories, those wounds, those past traumas. And so this fear, false evidence appearing real, this fear of facing your past, fear only has power over you if you don't face it. This fear, this idea that it's going to be so painful and so scary to look at your past again is keeping you from actually showing up to do the work that's going to set you free. And so I just want to invite you, if that is you, I want you to know that I have been on this journey for so long. I have been helping hundreds of people over the years. And please, please hear me when I say this. It's not going to be that scary. It's a path of empowerment. It's a path of empowerment. You get to shift the way that you're seeing things. You get to allow that energy that has been stuck inside of you and holding you down for years, for decades, lifetimes. You get to set it free. And that is one of the most beautiful things that you can do for yourself. One of the most loving things you can do for yourself is to finally shift and move and allow yourself to move that energy through your body. And so if that's you, and if you're someone who has been resistant to doing inner work because you're afraid to relive the past, you don't have to relive it, first of all. And you're going back at it and you're looking at your past from a place of curiosity and fascination. You become the scientist and the experiment. You get to be the researcher of your own mind, of your psyche, of your emotions, of your behaviors, of your patterns. And you get to look at them from the place of the observer. You're not reliving it. You're looking at it from a non-attached place. You're witnessing it. You're seeing, you're looking for clues. You're building bridges. You're making connections that years of therapy often can't make. And as soon as you make those connections, boom, the light bulb goes on. The aha moment happens. So those of you who are here and are watching, or who are watching the replay, can you relate to doing that process with me or with someone else, and those light bulb moments where you make those connections and you're like, oh my God, yes, I finally get it. I finally understand. So give me some hearts, give me some likes. Let me know if you've had that experience before, where you've shown up for the process of inner work, and when you show up and someone is a powerful guide for you in that process, and they help you to see things and make connections that you weren't able to make previously. And those just boom moments where you're like, oh my God, I finally understand. I finally understand. And those moments for me, when I'm watching someone go through that, it's like the best thing in the world. I couldn't imagine anything more gratifying than holding space for someone to make those connections, because as soon as they make those connections, energy starts to shift and transform, and the pain of the past and all that's been weighing them down starts to lift. And I can literally see their energy lift and it literally moves out of their body. And it is just so fucking cool. Sorry, I'm not usually a swearer, but I just had to let that one out. It's so cool. It is so cool. It is so incredible to watch that process unfold in people. So that is the second reason that I see people avoid doing inner work. The third reason, which is what keeps us stuck in all of this crap in the first place, is resistance to showing up for the continued work. I've seen a lot of people over the years who show up for the work and they make those connections and the light bulb moments happen and they understand themselves and they understand their patterns and they've built the bridges and they get why they are the way they are. But for some odd reason, the patterns keep showing up. Things don't change. They might change for a little while, but then things go back to the way they are, or they end up in the same type of relationship, or they end up in the same type of situation again. And why is that? Oh my God, again, resistance to change, resistance to continuing to show up for yourself in a new way. I mean, we are masters at avoiding change. It is hard. This path is not an easy path. It requires grit and tenacity and fierce commitment. So hear me on that. People who are on a path of inner work are fucking brave. They are warriors. They are warriors of the heart. They are so brave. They are the bravest people I know. People who don't go down this path don't have that same bravery or courage. This is not easy stuff. It's not easy to look at yourself in the mirror and see what's there and understand why your life is the way that it is and understand your part in it. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, that's not easy. That's not easy work. And so, oh my gosh, you know, we have so much resistance to showing up, continually showing up to do the work, because our old patterns, our old coping mechanisms, our defaults are so strong. They are deeply, deeply ingrained in us, in our brain. They're deep in our psyche. They're in the subconscious mind. We don't have to think about going to those patterns of coping or deflecting or avoidance or numbing or running or fighting or deflecting. Like, we don't have to even think about it. It's automatic. Our body knows exactly what to do to keep us safe from not having to feel what we're actually feeling in that moment. And so this path is a path, a spiritual path of non-resistance. We want to lean into this discomfort so that that discomfort and pain can move through you. If you don't face it, it's not that it disappears, it's that it gets stuck inside of you. So we've got a lifetime of pent up impressions and discomfort and pain and experience and memories and trauma that we've never processed because we haven't allowed ourselves to feel them fully. And so we're resisting feeling it. We're resisting showing up for the work. We're resisting staying committed to the work because, you know, coming to a workshop like everyone did on Saturday, there were breakthroughs, there were aha moments, there was healing, there was forgiveness. And now the real work begins. Showing up for work like that or doing work with me, and I always say this to my clients who do the VIP work with me and we go one-on-one and we go really deep. I say, you know what, these sessions, this is just where you get to reflect and you get to make connections and we go through healing processes. Yes, absolutely, things shift and transform just from showing up for the session. But the real work happens outside of the session when you get to show up for you and continue to show up for these practices of self-inquiry and self-discovery and journaling and reprogramming those old programs and old beliefs. So those are the three main reasons that I see people resist showing up for this work. And I hope that hearing all of this today helped you to understand Like that it's so worth it, right? Like Aaron was just saying, like it is so worth it to show up for this work. I'm seeing some other people from this weekend as well, and all of you brave souls that show up for this work. I so deeply honor you, and I'm so excited that you're a part of the team healing humanity by healing yourself, because the more you heal yourself, you heal the world. Because every time you heal an aspect, another layer within yourself, and you allow the true essence of who you are to shine bright, because we are bright, beautiful beings. That is the essence of who we are. We are love at our core. And anytime we're out of alignment with love, things go haywire. And that sends a ripple out. But just imagine for a moment, more people around the planet, everyone on the planet having access to this work, being able to peel away all of the layers of their past that are blocking their essence, that are blocking their light, that are blocking their brilliance. Imagine how different the world would be if people show up taking personal responsibility for how they feel, communicating from a place of love, acting in alignment with their truth, saying yes when they really mean it, and saying no when they want to. Just think about that for a moment. Think about how different this world would be. And so I hope that if this message inspired you and you want to help me spread the word and get more people living in alignment with their truth and in alignment with love, please share this. Please share this to your page. Tag people in the comments below. Let them know that there is a path to freedom. And I get it. Like I've said today, I know that it can be scary because it means you've got to face your truth. And yeah, you're going to have to make some tough decisions, but slow down for a moment, because you're not going to make those decisions right away. You first need to heal your relationship with yourself and take your power back in your life and in your relationships, to then be able to evaluate, should I stay or should I go? Okay. And I know sometimes people are also afraid, like, well, what if I start changing, and what if I grow, and what if I heal, and what if I keep growing and then I outgrow my friends, or I outgrow my partner, or I'm just growing in a different direction, right? I've heard that a lot as well, that people are afraid of then being alone. And let me tell you, I'm really sorry, but the reality is, when you start unplugging from the matrix and all the noise and all the drama and all the chaos and all of the crap that we create to make our lives more difficult than they need to be, when you start actually unhooking from all of that and you start taking your power back and you awaken and you heal and you're living in alignment with your truth, it can be kind of lonely at first, because you look out there in the world and you see people who aren't living in alignment with their truth, and it can feel kind of lonely. But I want you to know, if you're afraid of being alone, you're not alone. You're not alone. I'm here for you. I know all of my tribe is there for you. There is a growing community. There is a movement of people all around the world doing this work to awaken. And I want to see more and more people living awakened and healed and conscious lives, empowered, living in alignment with their truth. Because, oh my gosh, imagine making decisions from that place of truth, love, and wisdom inside of you, your true north. Pay attention to your internal compass. What direction is it facing? Are you in alignment? Is this choice in alignment with my truth? Is this choice in alignment with my highest and best good? So start making decisions, big and small, from that place of greater alignment with your truth. And so I hope this resonated with you today. Give me some hearts and likes if it did, if you feel inspired. And those of you who are here and who were there on the weekend, I am so proud of you. And I'm so excited to continue this work with you and to support you in our one-on-one session we have coming up. And you guys, I have a really big announcement to make, and I'm going to do that next week. So please come back, stay tuned for next week's big announcement. And if this resonated with you and you're feeling like, okay, I can't deny it anymore. I can't keep putting it off. I can't avoid it anymore. I just can't keep living out of alignment with my truth and with the knowing that I need to show up for this work. If that is you, please check out a breakthrough session with me. Get in my calendar as soon as you can. Just just don't put it off any longer. Life is short. Life is short. Don't waste any more time living out of alignment with your truth. Just don't do it. You guys, don't do it. Real, authentic happiness and meaning and purpose and passion and creativity and spiritual awakening is waiting for you. Do you hear me? Like, it's real. It's real. The joy, the love, the light, the laughter, it's real and it's there and it's waiting for you. No more living on the surface of life. No more getting caught up in all the drama and all the noise. Truth, alignment, joy, authentically. It's waiting for you. And I promise you, this path is going to be so empowering and so beautiful and so freeing. You just need someone to hold your hand and guide you that knows the way. So if you're looking for someone to do that with you and for you, I am here for you. I am holding space for you, all in divine timing. But life is short. So just show up for yourself. Show up for yourself. You've got nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. Get into my calendar as soon as you can. Let's do a deep dive session together and let me support you on your journey. Thank you so much for tuning in, and stay tuned for next week and my special announcement. And I'm excited for you. I'm excited for more and more people having access to this work. So thank you for sharing this to your page, and comment below and let me know how this has resonated with you. So thank you all. Thank you all. I love you, love you, love you so much. I so appreciate you. Thank you for helping me spread this message and give this work its wings. I love you, love you, love you. Bye, everybody.